In a crowded gathering, a girl was slapped hard, but her father said nothing. He just glared at the person in front with fierce eyes. Onlookers thought this man was a coward, but in reality, he was not an ordinary person, but a dangerous retired CIA agent. He was silent only because he didn't want to ruin his family's vacation. But after leaving from there, the more he thinks about it, the angrier he gets.
My phone was left inside. I'll just go and get it.
In the end, without listening to anyone, he finally returned. He went straight towards the one in yellow clothes and punched him hard. Then he pushed him and threw him onto a machine. Just then, another thug wanted to hit with a hammer, but Hutch took him down in one move. Then he picked up a dumbbell and beat him up badly. The one in yellow clothes advanced again, but Hutch slammed him hard against the glass. The thug collapsed right there. This man named Hutch is not an ordinary person. He was once a dangerous killer for the CIA who only carried out secret murder missions. But he took early retirement and became an ordinary man. In the last film, Hutch got involved in a Russian mafia mess and burned their $300 million to ashes. In the end, he did take down the Russian boss, but the trouble didn't end there because those 300 million weren't just the bosses, but the retirement money of several Russian mafias. Fortunately, that secret organization of the CIA paid the money on his behalf. But in return, Hutch had to do even more secret missions for the CIA to pay off his debt. So for the next 4 years, Hutch became a killing machine and started completing missions like crazy. It was as if killing daily had become his habit.
How much debt do I have left?
Around 3 crore.
Despite working so hard, a debt of 30 million was still remaining. He was so busy that he couldn't find time for his family and wasn't able to watch his children grow up. His wife couldn't tolerate it anymore and wanted to talk. But before she could say anything, Hutch said that he had to go on a mission. His wife was very disappointed with him, but didn't he understand this himself? So he decided that after this mission, he would definitely take a break. As soon as he came in front of the target, Hutch got into the lift. A fierce fight with the goons ensued, and he easily won and retrieved the mission's memory card. The goon lying on the ground wanted to retaliate, but he was up against a professional killer. Hutch snatched his gun and shot him straight in the head. In this way, he won the game. But it wasn't that easy. As soon as he stepped out, he encountered more thugs. Even while facing the attack from the goons, Hutch was not scared at all. He picked up the nearby gas cylinder and threw it straight at them. But the fight was not over yet. More backup for the goons arrived, and this time, some more ferocious people came. It seems today's mission is going to be quite challenging. Hutch picked up a wire pipe from nearby and wrapped it around his hand with the help of a belt. He blocked the thug's knife and countered with a strong blow. 2 more thugs were approaching death's door. With a precise strike, he pierced the target and hit the thug on the waist. A team of thugs pushed Hutch back, but Hutch quickly ended the game with a knife. After this, Hutch told his boss in the CIA everything about this mission. The boss happily said that at this speed, all the debt will be paid off by next spring. Seeing Hutch's mental state, the boss agreed but said something profound. The boss thought that Hutch's killer instinct could never change. He could never become an ordinary person, but Hutch just wanted a normal life. After finally getting a vacation, Hutch decided to go on a trip with his family to strengthen their relationships. Besides their family of 4, Hutch's carefree father also joined them. The scenery along the way was amazing, and the whole family was happily laughing and playing. They didn't know that danger was slowly approaching them. They reached a tourist town. In the beginning, everything was fine, and they were having a lot of fun. In the gaming arcade, son Brady's smart look caught the attention of some girls. Brady was feeling proud inside. He tore the game tickets he had won and gave them to a girl. Seeing this, a boy standing nearby got angry. When Brady was playing with the girl, the boy came and started provoking him.
Trying to impress girls by giving them tickets.
If I say go to hell, that will work. Brady's whole family is dangerous, so why would he be scared? But the other boy was getting too full of himself. He snatched the girl's toy and tore it apart. Brady couldn't tolerate this and immediately threw a punch. Hutch turned around and saw this and moved forward to stop it. But then the security guard arrived there. Without thinking, he pushed Brady to the ground in an instant. Thankfully, Hutch arrived on time and saved his son. The security guard even told them to leave and said that Brady deliberately caused trouble. Hutch wanted to argue, but his wife stopped him because they were there on vacation. As they were about to leave, the security guard slapped Hutch's daughter. This was beyond Hutch's tolerance, and that's why the scene at the beginning of the video happened. After this incident, the whole family was taken to the city police station. The wife was talking to the police officers, and Hutch was explaining to his son that even to protect his sister, he should not get into a fight. Should have done.
You are telling me to stay calm, but you went up against everyone alone.
The son was completely surprised about who had reached the police station after the fight. Suddenly, a policeman came and took Hutch to an office. There, the city's mayor Martin was sitting, who was the father of the boy who fought in the gaming arcade.
I know you are that tourist who badly beat up my son.
Hutch thought that the person in front would take revenge by using his power. But after hearing Hutch's words, Martin let the family go. However, the policeman standing nearby was not happy about this, because the arcade's security guards were his men. The next day, the family started exploring again. The wife hit the target perfectly in gun shooting, which left the son astonished. It seems that messing with this family is not a good idea for anyone. The father didn't go with them. Instead, he rented a small place by the roadside and started reminiscing about his glorious old days. But the family had only been out for a short while when Hutch realized that a policeman was following them. He didn't let his family panic and decided to handle the matter himself. He sent the family on a boat ride and stayed back, making an excuse. Then he went on another boat. As he expected, the goons immediately came to him. Hutch wanted to resolve the matter peacefully because he had come here for a vacation. But a thug ran and grabbed Hutch by the neck. He wanted to say something more, but Hutch gave him a strong shove. Then he threw the thug away with a life jacket. After that, he grabbed the thug in front and threw him out of the boat. Fortunately, the thug reacted quickly and avoided falling into the water. The bearded thug picked up a weapon and attacked with all his might, but accidentally hit his own partner. Hutch grabbed the thug's right hand, picked up a rubber tube, and struck him on the head, causing him to pass out right in his seat. Another thug who had fallen tried to climb up. Hutch saw him and finished him off too. Just then, a policeman also lunged at Hutch. Hutch didn't want to fight because raising a hand against the police is a serious crime. But the policeman wasn't ready to back off and bit Hutch's little finger. As soon as Hutch bent down to pick up his severed finger, it rolled into the river and a fish swallowed it. Seeing this, Hutch was completely bewildered. He got up with a start, but being distracted, he was thrown into the water. Will he drown and die? The goons were just about to celebrate when Hutch came back up again. His finger was gone. Now he didn't care about any policeman. Hutch staggered to the shore. He grabbed the policeman's waist and slammed him to the ground. The bearded goon seized the opportunity and ran. Hutch clenched his fist and landed a strong punch on him. Another goon came from behind to help. Hutch gave him a strong jolt too, after which that goon collapsed right there. Another thug came. Hutch grabbed his wrist. Taking advantage of the thug being injured, Hutch snatched the knife and made a deadly strike on him. The thugs were completely down. Hutch released the boat's anchor and dragged the thug into the river so he would stay with his severed finger. The policeman was still trying to pick up the knife, but Hutch wasn't going to give him any chance. Your father is on vacation and you're ruining my fun. You are disturbing me. I will kill you. And he beat him up thoroughly. In this way, Hutch's troubles kept increasing. He couldn't understand why taking a small vacation had become so burdensome. He called the CIA to find out what was going on. The boss explained that this tourist town has been under the control of a mafia for quite some time. There is an open trade of drugs and weapons here. The city's mayor and police also dance to the mafia's tunes. The leader of this mafia is a Russian woman named Dina. She is very dangerous and engages in all sorts of bad activities. Anyone who messes with her in her area is sure to die. She is a completely crazy woman. The boss said he could give Hutch some clues. But Hutch will have to be a bit careful now because his family is also there. Actually, Mayor Martin was also compelled. His father had mortgaged this town to Dina while he was alive. To repay his father's debt, Martin had done many wrong things. Now, when the debt was almost about to be paid off, Martin said that this was his last job and he wanted the ownership of the city back. How could Dina agree to this? This city was the hub of her crimes. So, to force Martin to keep working for her, Dina had the police chief kidnap Martin's son so she could blackmail him. Just then, Hutch showed up there.
How did you get here? Is this petrol?
Hutch lit the lighter and said that if they stopped bothering him and his family, he would leave immediately. Otherwise, he would burn all the money and goods to ashes. The police chief knew that Hutch was not just any ordinary person. He had single-handedly sent many of their men to the hospital. They were forced to let Hutch go. But as soon as Hutch turned around, Martin's son jumped out in front. He pleaded with Hutch for help, but Hutch did not want to get involved in any more trouble and decided to leave immediately. However, his car had not gone far when he suddenly hit the brakes and turned the car around.
After all, he was a father too. Then the sound of gunshots began to echo in the warehouse.
Screams erupted and many goons started running outside. It seemed that the boss's warning was absolutely correct. After dealing with the goons, Hunch picked up the gun, and just as he was about to take little Martin away, the police chief, he wanted to fire more bullets, but his gun was empty. Hunch did not attack him but shot at the light hanging from the ceiling. Suddenly, sparks flew everywhere and fell on the black money kept below. The fire started spreading and the entire warehouse caught fire. Dina was stunned to see this. She saw Hunch's photo on the monitor, but Dina had never seen him before and couldn't find any information about him, except for the vacation photos of Hunch's family. But whatever Hunch may be, Dina had decided that she would tear him to pieces. Therefore, he gathered all his men and decided to fight with Hunch. On the other hand, Martin wanted to thank Hunch for saving his son's life. He took Hunch to a weapons warehouse where many old weapons were kept. These all belonged to Martin's father, but the good thing was that they were still working. Martin's father was also murdered by Dina, so he decided to end Dina's game by teaming up with Hunch. They cleared out the entire amusement park so that the final battle with Dina could be fought there. Hunch's close friend Blackie also came to help upon hearing the news. How could Hunch's father stay behind in such a big battle? Once the team was complete, everyone divided the tasks and set up many traps in the amusement park. Finally, they were going to face Dina's most dangerous men. At night, Dina also reached the amusement park's gate. The police chief went ahead to talk first. He advised both to surrender and said that there was no point in struggling anymore. As soon as the police chief turned, he realized that they were not talking about surrendering. That's why he signaled Dina to attack. But Dina still hadn't forgotten about the warehouse being set on fire. The police chief was riddled with bullets and fell at Dina's signal. The thugs began their attack and the battle fully commenced. The team used the traps they had set to take down some of the thugs first. Suddenly, a thug attacked from the corner. Fortunately, the dog barked and alerted them. Hunch got the signal and fired 2 shots to save himself. On the other side, Martin was retreating while fighting. Just then, a bullet hit his hip. Groaning in pain, he hid and waited for the goons to come closer. Meanwhile, Hunch was playing on the slide. The goons were chasing him. Hunch jumped off midway, but for the goon following him, it became impossible to get down. Seeing Hunch in danger, that also helped. Although they had an old manual machine gun, its power was still tremendous. After all, a father is a father. Suddenly, a thug seized the opportunity and blew up the father's hideout with a bomb. Seeing this, Hunch went mad with anger. On the other hand, Dina's men themselves reached Hunch's family's wooden cabin, but they didn't know that Blackie was already waiting for them. After the small-time goons were killed, it was the turn of the gang leader. Neither had a gun, but they drew samurai swords, and with that, Blackie's spectacular action scene began. Meanwhile, the fight at the amusement park was reaching its final stage. Hunch bandaged Martin's wounds and was about to go see his father when he encountered Dina. She came to attack with 2 girls. One girl moved forward first. Hunch slapped her. Then the second one punched Hunch in the face. The girl behind was just about to hit when Hunch grabbed her and knocked her down. But then a strong kick landed and Hunch fell onto the table. Then both girls picked up a weapon each and started attacking Hunch continuously. Poor Hunch couldn't figure out whom to fight. In this condition, Hunch was unable to fight both girls. They beat him up badly. Now, Hunch was in their grasp. Dina took out a gun and was just about to shoot Hunch when one of the girls was finished off. It turned out Martin did something good at the right time. Then the second girl ran towards Martin, shouting. But Martin finished her off too. However, Tina threw a knife and stopped poor Martin. Then she held a weapon to Hunch's neck. It seemed like Hunch was done for. But just then, Hunch's wife arrived. Tina quickly threw a knife, but Hunch's wife aimed so well that while deflecting the knife, her bullet hit Tina straight in the eye, and Tina fell right there. Now it seemed everything was over. But then, more goons arrived. Seeing this, both were in a bad state. But Hunch's father was still alive. He pressed the bomb's trigger and ended all the goons at once. Poor Tina died laughing, and in this way, Hunch's family averted the danger, but their trip to the police station was certain. During the interrogation at the station, a call suddenly came from above. The senior officials ordered them to release Hunch and his wife unconditionally. Now, Hunch was once again indebted to the CIA. People even speculate that in the third part, Hunch and his wife might repay the debt together. Here, the entire story of the film ends. A lot of effort went into making the video, friends. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.